The French brand Yema is obviously a historic brand. They have sort of a split in their lineup of watches between really high-end watches and their more basic models. Today we're taking a look at something that is more high-end from the brand. This is their Skin Diver Ultra Slim. It gets their in-house automatic micro-rotor movement, and it's also in bronze. I have one hands-on, so let's flip the camera and take a look at one of the latest releases from Yema, their Ultra Slim Skin Diver. So this is Yema's Skin Diver Slim Bronze, the CMM 2.0, and this is a limited edition of 200 pieces. This gets their in-house movement. It is an automatic. It is a micro-rotor, and you do get to see that movement from the back. This is a skin diver, but you're getting 300 meters of water resistance, which is really not typical for a skin diver. This is more of a dive watch. This is in green. This is bronze as well. They are only making this in two colors, and I believe that they are both essentially green. The dial on the other green version is more of a gray green. This is more of a green, like a forest green. You also get a green bezel on this version. I'll throw up a picture of that watch if I have a picture of it to show you guys. You also get bronze gilt tone indices and hands. Those are filled with lume. You get a lollipop on the second hand, so there is lume that you can see that is working in the dark, and obviously I love that, especially on a dive watch. I think that's pretty important. This is slim. The whole point of this watch is that it is a slim dive watch. When you turn this on its side, you could see it's slim because of the movement. The movement inside is the entire reason why this is a 300-meter dive watch, is because you have that automatic micro-rotor movement inside this watch. You get to see it from the sapphire crystal on the back. This is very vintage inspired. It's only 11.7 millimeters thick. That's including the front boxed raised sapphire crystal, and again the sapphire crystal and the screwed-in caseback. The screwed-in caseback is in stainless steel, obviously, because that is touching your skin, and you don't want the bronze touching your skin because it will turn color. This is around a 38.8, 38.9 millimeter watch, so essentially a 39 millimeter watch. And then you have a 47 millimeter lug to lug, a very vintage inspired case as well, as you can see when you turn it on its side. That knurled bezel, the bezel action on here is pretty good. You have a very large crown at around 6.3 millimeters, so a pretty big crown for a 39 millimeter watch. And of course, you're getting that 300 meters of water resistance. So like I was saying before, very good for a skin diver. That green dial has applied indices. Those indices are basically block indices. They have a 12, 9, 3, and 6 at those primary indices, and then the dial itself is a satin finish. You have the Yema Y, then it says Yema below that, and then below that it says Superman. That's all below that 12 o'clock index. Right above the 6 o'clock index, it says 300 meters, and of course micro-rotor, because again, this is their micro-rotor movement. Let's listen to the bezel action on here. It's actually pretty good. I don't know if the bezel is lumed, but we will do a lume shot towards the end. There is a pip that gives you orientation. I would assume that is lumed and gives you orientation in the dark, but I do not know if the rest of the bezel is lumed. Like I said, we'll check that out in just a few minutes. The hands are a fence post hand for the hour hand, and the minutes hand is an arrow that is segmented. Again, liberally applied with lume. This comes on a rubber strap. This is a green rubber strap, and then you have a beautiful bronze buckle on here, which is nice and heavy. It feels really nice in hand. In general, this watch feels really nicely made. The movement itself is made in France, and all the other components are sourced from Switzerland within I think it's a 70 kilometer radius of their home base in France, which is pretty cool. So they are trying to make this as European, as French as possible, and I do like that. This gets a 5-year warranty, which is obviously a lot better than you get from your everyday micro brand. The movement is regulated to -3 seconds to +7 seconds per day, so that is also really good, and again, that is done in France. On my wrist today, I have the Superman Diver. This is with their in-house movement. It's essentially the same case as the watch that we're looking at today, except you have that locking mechanism right there. This is just a really good looking watch, especially the bracelet. I love this coffin bracelet. It looks so good on this watch. And this also gets their in-house movement. However, it is not their Micro-rotor. It is, I believe, their Yema 2000. I believe that's what it's called. I cannot remember. But I will be doing a full video on this watch as well, so stay tuned for that. And like I said, this is the gilt version. It gets a green dial as well. It's just almost a black dial. Really good looking watch. And there is the in-house version of the Yema Superman Skin Diver on my 7.5-inch wrist. This is a 39mm watch with a 47mm lug to lug, 11.8mm thickness, and you can see it wears really nicely on my 7.5-inch wrist. For a watch with 300 meters of water resistance, this is thin, because you are getting an 11.8mm thickness, including that boxed sapphire crystal, so that is excellent. This wears very comfortably. I think it looks really good, and I love the combination of bronze and green. I think that is a fantastic combination. I really love gold and green as well. I think those two colors go well together, and this looks very, very rich. Well, there you go. I have no complaints about the lume. The lume is very bright on the hands, the indices. There's just a little bit of lume in the bezel. That's in a pip, but it is lumed pretty decently. And then you have a very large lollipop on that second hand so that you can see your watch is working in the dark. Overall, I think this is a really cool watch. I love a dive watch with a Micro-rotor movement. It's sort of like tool watch meets dress watch, because you're getting the thinness of that movement. You obviously benefit from that. You get a thin dive watch, and it looks really cool. You flip over your watch and you're looking at a French-made Micro-rotor movement. You really can't go wrong. Very, very cool watch. And I love the bronze and green. I love that combination. Price on this watch is $2,490. It seems like a lot of money, but you are getting a lot of watch for that money. Also, all taxes and duties are figured into that price. So a lot of brands let you figure that out later on. You get charged by DHL or FedEx later on, a couple of months after you've purchased the watch. You get hit with a couple of $100 that you didn't know you were going to get hit with. So I like this a lot better. Up front, you know the price, and everything is included in that price. So very straightforward. That works really well. And again, overall, I think this is a very good looking watch. That's why I like this watch. I think it looks and feels a lot more expensive than it actually is. Even though it is on the pricier side, it definitely feels like a very premium product. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of Yema? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. And that's really it. I will catch you guys in the next video.